I thought that the word соседи is sausage. So I went along and just said, cheers. It took me 6 months. So uncomfortable. You can't avoid making a fool out of yourself. So you finally decided that you're going to study and learn that one language. One language that you should have learned a long time ago. You know, you've spent 2 years learning Spanish at school. You don't want to forget that hola, ¿cómo está? Completely. Or your girlfriend's family is Korean. And it would be nice to say a few things to the grandma. And yes, you are all serious and well prepared this time. You have your books, the app, the tutor. And once you learn enough, you will definitely start speaking with the girlfriend and the parents and the grandma and friends. And perhaps you will attend that meetup you've seen a couple of times. All you need is just to follow the course, the tutor, or the app. And by the way, I'm a Russian language tutor and I have students who want to speak, but they just need a little bit more to, go and practice and get out there. Well, you're wrong. Assuming you have a tutor and all the materials and the app and the books, and you're following the course, and you think that as long as you follow the course or the tutor or the app, you will learn the language. You'll be fluent. You'll start speaking. Well, you won't. You are not going to be fluent. You are not even going to speak unless you follow this list. You need to have full immersion. You need to listen to the language. You need to read the language. You need to listen to the songs you don't understand in that language. And yes, you're following the course, and then you're doing the homework. And you also need to track the mistakes that you're making and your speech patterns and the sticky notes and the vocabulary. And finally, you need to start speaking and fail a lot. A lot. If hola, ¿cómo está? Irashaimase and privet, как дела are the only things that you know, you better go out there and proudly say it at any given opportunity. At any given opportunity that you have. At the meetup, with a tutor, at the friends, with the grandma. And I'll tell you why. So not only you're actively immersing yourself in those conversations, and you're listening, and you're speaking, and you're getting the vocabulary and stuff like that, you are going to be so uncomfortable because you're going to make a fool out of yourself. You're going to be so uncomfortable that your brain will train you to get better because you don't want to make those mistakes anymore. And you will never do it through the app. You will never do it with the app. You can only do it by a real conversation with a human being and fail and learn from that failing. Because those failed moments will make you learn more and a lot faster than your success moments. But I don't want to make a fool out of myself. By the way, this was my real accent. This is my fake Russian accent, which is still Russian after 15 years being in the United States. Making a fool of oneself is a must-do for any adult language learner. And if you think for a moment that you're not going to fail, I beg your pardon. If you are learning a language as an adult, you better accept the fact that you're going to fail miserably. You're going to fail so much, you want to crumble back into your mother's uterus and be a baby again. And the longer you try to avoid speaking and failing, the longer it will take you to be fluent. Let me tell you this. You can't avoid making a fool out of yourself. No, you can't. The more you delay the process of going out there and speaking and feeling uncomfortable and making a fool out of yourself, the more time will pass while you're technically still learning the language, the less fluent you're becoming. So if you fail early in the learning process, 6 months from now, you'll be already better. The more you delay the process, the less fluent you're being, the less you speak, and technically, the longer you're learning the language. Do you know how many times I ordered Parliament and nachos? Before one day, someone told me, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you mean matches?" Do you know how long it took me to understand this mistake? 6 months. It took me 6 months to understand that I'm saying nachos instead of matches. Do you know when I went to a bar for a very first time, I couldn't understand why people suddenly want to toast for chairs? Suddenly everyone just liked chairs at the bar. So I went along and just said, "Cheers." Do you know that I had to look up in the dictionary the term "what's up"? Because all they taught us at school is "hello, how do you do?" And I had to look up every single word as "what is up?" and still not being able to understand. And guess what? When you get to a point when you feel a little bit more fluent, for a very brief moment, you're going to think that you've learned enough and you're not going to be embarrassed anymore. Well, you're wrong again. At some point, I thought I'm going to cheat the system. I'm going to speak. There are a lot of words that are similar. Supervisor, supervisor. Manager, manager. Garage, garage. Соседи, sausage, sausage. I thought, sausage. I was working as a house cleaner for an older gentleman in Millbrae, Bay Area, California. He was in his late 60s. And I was cleaning his windows. I was going in and out, and his neighbors were staring at me. Perhaps they thought that I'm breaking in. And I thought I'll share these observations with the older gentleman. And I remind you, I thought that the word соседи is sausage. So I go to him and say, "This morning, your sausage was looking at me." He says, "What?" "This morning, your sausage was looking at me." I said proudly with a smile on my face. And again, the longer you wait to go out there and fail, the more time will pass and the more embarrassed you will when you're going to make those mistakes. And you're going to make those mistakes inevitably. And one more thing, people who are learning a foreign language, you're the bravest, smartest, courageous people out there. And don't you dare be shy and apologetic and uncomfortable with those mistakes. You go out there to those meetups, to those tutors and the teachers and your grandma and the girlfriend, and you start speaking the language with all this "как дела" and "hola, ¿cómo está?" No amount of stars and gems and owls or whatever will make you be fluent in the language. No amount of that will make you speak the language. So you go out there and speak and make those mistakes and comment below on how much you enjoyed failing.